Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris. Good morning. I hope you've had a wonderful week so far. It's Friday. Yes, let me turn this off. There we go. It's Friday. Man, I hope you've had a great week. It has flown by for me. Yes, the aliens. That's kind of a thing we're going to talk about today. There's been a couple of times throughout, I guess, science fiction, where we've seen science fiction thinkers suggest that Jesus may have been an alien or some business like that. Ridley Scott comes to mind immediately, but he wouldn't be the first or last, I'm sure, to do the thing. So there's two different things going on. One is, was Jesus an alien? Separately, although it sounds kind of the same, is are ancient gods actually aliens, which falls under Jesus, right? But in a way, it's not. But you know what I mean. If you know, you can see the difference. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Let's do a thing. It's going to be hopefully an interesting show. I may turn my lights off. I've had a headache. Been doing the headache thing lately because, all the cool kids are doing it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are Conspirowin. Conspirowin has a long history of helping anyone with a hidden truth. We will get your message out. The conspiracy theories you see today all started out with one person's vision. The moon landing hoax was launched by a NASA engineer whose manager didn't okay his vacation request. Conspirowin was there to help out. Christianity started out because one little girl named Mary got pregnant out of wedlock, and Conspirowin saved the day. Now, the virgin birth is accepted Catholic doctrine. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. No one's going to believe that. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. Conspirowin will take your fledgling idea and feed it to our YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok operatives. And these savvy social media professionals will raise doubts with the prevailing scientific consensus. They will say, no one has ever seen the planet's core except Jesus. And science is wrong all the time. That's why science has theories and not Jesus. Within 30 days, we guarantee you CNN will run a story on how your conspiracy theory isn't true. We will also give you 100% assurance Fox News will say your crazy idea about the Earth's core being an icy ball is true. Follow your heart. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with Conspirowin.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Let's see, James. Good morning, James Johan. I hope you're having a great day. The other three, you're talking about the commercials. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We have Beard of Empathy is in the chat. Oddmod is here. James is here. We do actually have more than 5 viewers watching. Right side of history, you're only seeing one stream. There are 2 streams going on. The other one has got like 7 people watching. Very exciting. Very exciting. Lets me know that what I do is worth it. Actually, really kidding aside, I think about that sometimes. Hey, the channel does. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's over 100 viewers. Sometimes it's not. That's cool and all, but really, it's gotten where I got this group of friends that I wake up and I kind of chat with every morning, and I value that. So. Anyway, good morning. I know, right? That's nice. I'm rocking it. Let's see. Good morning, Lobos Samhain. Good morning. I hope I said that right. So he draws people who don't know much about anything. Oh, he rehashes arguments atheist scholars are behind. Okay, carry on. What are we going to do? Did you just get here or something? Okay, fine. One of the things I want to talk about today is this whole alien thing. It's kind of been often, and it's not limited to just Jesus. Although Jesus does kind of figure prominently. Whenever, like Babylon 5, for example. Babylon 5 has the Vorlons and the Shadows, and the Vorlons and Shadows have been lording over, being gods of various worlds for, however many millions of years or whatever. They're gods essentially. There's a scene in Babylon 5 where we see a Vorlon with our eyes. a whole bunch of people see it at the same time. And when they see it, it depends on who they are as to what they see. If they're human, they see an angel. Looks like a human angel. If they're, a Minbari, they see a Minbari angel. If they're a blah, blah, and that was kind of their way of doing that sort of thing. Somebody mentioned in the chat, Star Trek has done gods so many times. Apollo, back in the original series, it hasn't stopped since. There's been a lot of times where there have been claims of godhood of some kind. There's different levels of gods, as we know, but let's see. I've been feeting free for a while. Hey, you've been, that's awesome. Very brave of you, in fact. Let me just kind of catch up in the chat. Beard of empathy. Okay, got that. All right, so let's see here. You've been Thetan free. That's good, those damn Thetans. You got to watch out for those. Whenever you listen, sometimes, if you're raised in that religion or that sort of religion, it sounds perfectly normal until, you get out of that religion and you realize it's not perfectly normal. It's less than perfectly normal. Let's see. Good morning, Oddmod. Giff, how are you doing today? I hope everything's going. Aren't you? I think you're in England, aren't you? So it's afternoon for you. Am I right? Or am I right? Good morning, Kinsey Rainwolf, how are you doing? Morning, fellow burners. My kitten is on my chest, making biscuits on my throat and mouthing my face. Love the background. Oh, thank you for the background. Yes. I'm a space cadet, I guess, as it were. Good morning. They are all cults. Yes, they are indeed. They are in cults. One of the things, James, if you hang around, nice to meet you, brother. New face in the chat. I've got some videos on my channel that are... Well, like the top 10 reasons why Christianity is a blood cult, or the top 10 reasons why Christianity is a scam, or the top 10 reasons why Christianity, and a lot of times, they just can't see it. It ain't no blood cult. All right, washed in the blood of Jesus, and then we go on about ourselves, talking about, and they don't care. They don't care. I'm tired, and my brain hurts this morning. I got a headache. I've been smudged by the Lord. I'm really hoping, guys, with any luck, this YouTube thing will get fixed as far as YouTube doing a dual ingest stream thing soon, because it's very frustrating. I'd like it where you guys can chat with each other and all that business. The horizontal people may not like that very much. They look down on the vertical people, I think. There's some looking down going on. Let me try to catch up over here. They sometimes it doesn't show. So, how many religions feature virgin birth? The same fairy tale told a million times. Isn't that the truth? Hey, Joshua Bardios. Cool name. Good morning. How you doing? 2, 3. What was the question? 1, 2. Oh, I don't care about the Greek pantheon. What was the question? All right, let's see. John. Let me go. Maybe I can see it here. All I see is message in history. 2 ? 3 ? I don't care about the Greek pantheon. Okay, maybe you're talking to somebody about something. I don't know. Talking about something specific. Oddmod, 2 p.m. All right, so it is afternoon. You are indeed on the other side of the planet. Good. I'm just checking to see if I missed something with our... Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe... I see your post there, Joshua Bardios. It just seems like I'm missing part of it. I don't see the first part. Huh. Anyway. I recently rebuilt my computer. I did not rebuild my computer. That's a lie straight from the devil. I built a new computer, Nuevo Computero, from scratch myself, my bad self, because I did IT for 20 years. So for a very low cost, I got a very badass computer, very badass, because the last is 4 times cheaper, a quarter of the price, I guess it were, than my last computer, because this one I built myself. I was lazy last time. Let's see. Yeah, so it's awesome. So I rebuilt my stuff, and some of it doesn't still work yet. I've got to get... Oh, man, I should have fixed the Altar Boys commercial thing. It's still not there yet. I'll fix it one of these days. Good morning, Crazy Fox Lover. I'm so sick and tired. It's not anyone here, but it's everything sucks. Very true. I'm waiting for a break. We've gotten past that point. If we'll talk for politics for just a minute, the conservatives, the lying, dishonest, cheating, piece of shit conservatives, have been weekend at burning Mitch McConnell for quite a while now, so they can stay in power. That's right. Well, I think that time is up, and before long, Mitch McConnell will be passing, I'm sure. Those kinds of things. And then we've got the upcoming elections. It seems as though whenever the local elections happens, the progressives really do seem to be kicking ass all over, don't they? I've thought about running as a progressive myself. I got enough shit to do. I'm too lazy for that. But anyway, because the Democrats they just don't do it anymore. They don't. They never really have, but it's gotten where it's a little more obvious. The conservatives are just run roughshod over our entire country, completely destroying our nation, while the Democrats go, stop, oh my, stop, no, stop. And then, of course, they take their money from Israel. So, however that works out. And see, I'm not a big anti-Israel person either. I'm not a pro-Israel. I'm an anti-Zionist. So, you won't really necessarily hear me bashing Israel per se, like some people. Because I separate the two, the Zionist shit people who are murdering the blah, 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 blah. There's also obviously the ones who are not Zionists but complicit, etc. So, like our MAGA over here, they got in charge and look, they're off killing people. It didn't take long either, did it? Before they were ordering the open killing of people in open waters here in the United States. They started murdering people in drug boats. Were they drug boats? How many of those drug boats turned out to be just fuel boats for like a lake or a little facilities going from? There's no way those boats would have made it to. Anyway, long story short, my brain is not right. Where do you feel the need to virtue signal? Let's see. User's history. Virtue signaling. Oh my goodness, you guys, you should really adopt. You really should. You shouldn't have abortions. You should adopt. That's what I would do. I would adopt. Have you adopted? Oh no, I haven't adopted. No. I don't have time. I don't have room for that. No. I can't do that. No. Can't afford it. Nope. Kids are expensive. I actually did adopt. I'm adoptive father. So I'm not actually what you would say virtue signaling in that department. Kind of to give everybody an example what virtue signaling is. And that's like a Christian clarion call, by the way, virtue signaling, claiming to be, oh my goodness, that's just so, I can't believe we would never do it. And then you turn around, they're fucking doing it. It's just kind of it's a mixed bag. Peace of mind, I was adopted. That's cool. Peace of mind, I was adopted. Yeah, that's cool. We had this talk on the show the other day about, so you were adopted. So somebody rather than having an abortion, they put you up for adoption, which is absolutely a thing. If you believe, but this is what we were talking about. If you believe in God and hell and heaven, and if you believe that a baby doesn't go to hell, goes to heaven, if it's got to go someplace, and then once somebody is born, the longer they travel through this world, the more likely they are to fall and go to hell, then you could kind of figure out that you personally, anti-abortion people, have forced babies to be born that would have otherwise gone to heaven. But then they fell in transgression here on earth over time, and now they're going to burn forever. And that's your doing, really, because otherwise they would have. So like our friend here, what's our friend name? Oh, pardon, real quick. Let's see. My brother was adopted, says, so Peace of Mind 3 says I was adopted. So there you go. Peace of Mind 3 was adopted. Now, if Peace of Mind, I don't remember, man. Pardon, let me see if I can see. Are you a Christian? Anyway, if you're a Christian, then you're going to hell. Sorry. Just ask any other Christian in the chat if you're a real Christian, and they're going to say no. And just, they're all going to hell. So if somebody forced your mother, the laws or whatever, to have you, then they, you should think, are the ones who essentially made it to where you're going to hell. Because had it not been for those people imposing their bullshit on other people, you'd be in heaven right now, chilling, chillaxing. Or if you're one of those Christians who believes in a really vile God creature, you would be burning in hell as a baby. Looking at you, Catholic motherfuckers. Anyway, moving on. Let's move on. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. You know, one of the things is being an adoptive parent. I mean, it's rewarding, frustrating. You know, I should just take off the word adoptive. If you're a parent, it's rewarding, but it's frustrating. Is it not? I mean, oh my goodness. You're like, oh my God, kid, why? Why are you sticking your finger knuckle deep in your nose in this restaurant? I mean, you're 22 years old, man. No, I'm kidding. No, you know, they do things and you're like, oh my goodness. I think it's, is it Shakespeare in The Winter's Tale? He's talking about his son and he's like, he says something good about him. He's like, he makes a summer's day feel like a winter's month. Like to be with him, it just really sucks. One day it's good, the next day it's bad. I have to be honest, I don't suspect you probably think that I went out and adopted the child so I could say, I adopted a child on live stream. No, it happened long before, in fact. Thank God for adoption. Anyone? No. Oh, yeah, it doesn't fit your worldview, just ignorant. Well, you know, not really. Adoption, wait a second. Hold on. Thank God for adoption, anyone. Oh, yeah, it doesn't fit your worldview. Ignorant, just ignorant. I know, right? I'm an adoptive fucking father. It doesn't fit my worldview. You're not talking. You can't be talking to me. I mean, I've looked at the things you've said in the chat, and some of them you just can't be talking to me. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the fuck you're saying half the time. I assume you're talking to somebody. I don't care about the Greek pantheon, buddy. That was the very first thing. I don't think have I said anything about the Greek pantheon? I didn't say anything. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. The next post was 2 ? 3 ? I don't know. What's that about? I have no idea. I was going on about myself. Could have been clearer. The next post was, why do you feel the need to virtue signal? How was I virtue signaling, by the way? I mean, I explained kind of what virtue signaling is. How was I doing it? I don't understand how I was virtue signaling. I don't get that. Can you A, define virtue signaling, and then B, explain to me in the chat how I was doing it? Unless, of course, you possibly were talking to somebody else. I don't know. And then your next post was a ha ha ha. And then thank God for adoption anyone. Oh yeah, it doesn't fit your worldview, just ignorant, just ignorant. Oh. Good morning. I hope you're doing great, regardless. Whether you're talking to me or not, I hope you're having a great day. I know you're talking to me, dude. And I know what you mean. I know what you're trying to say. I'm bashing on you for being so obscure and obtuse. But anyway, moving on. BTTCPP. Buttercup? No. Anyway, good morning. He thinks you were virtue signaling because you don't like random people being killed in the boats. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't really care for random people being killed in boats. But see, in at all, I don't see how that's virtue signaling. I don't understand, because I mean, I don't support that. Like, I don't really. Anyway, there is a difference though. One is somebody out there killing somebody in boats. It's just, The second one is the United States Navy in open international waters, murdering people in boats. Bragging about murdering people. Did they have to kill those people? No, they didn't. You'll see real drug seizures where they actually capture these whole ships and all kinds of stuff. They couldn't capture those little boats at all. No. They had to kill them all. All of them. Did they kill? They couldn't have captured them. No. Weird, huh? Isn't that weird? That's our government executing people without trial, without evidence, without proof. If one of those men on that boat was indeed just some guy taking gas from this little port to this little port to this little port along the coast, and they killed him for that, that's our government. Now, okay, maybe not virtue signaling, naivete perhaps. Okay, so our government does indeed, has indeed, will indeed do those things. I'm sure, part of the deal, though, I mean, I don't know, isn't it fucked up? You just can't say they haven't done that before. I mean, in this case, it's different, I want to say, but our government's kind of been shit for a long time. Whether it's like Iran in the 50s where they wouldn't sell us our oil, so we helped overthrow their democratically elected government, so they would sell us our oil. Then the religious people got in charge and they said, fuck you, and wouldn't sell us their oil. The religious people didn't get in charge. We put them in charge, by the way. You didn't know that about the U.S. CIA and all that business from the last century. We did some shit. But it's like our country is Captain America. It's like our country wants everybody to think it's Captain America when it's really Homelander. For those of you who know what I mean. Anybody know what I mean? Our Judeo-Christian civilization is okay. Just look around the world to see the news sometimes. We are not that bad. Yeah, but see, that's the whole deal, man. We'd have been just fine without the Judeo-Christian part. We would have. Society would have gotten along just fine without it. Our society was developing actually off of Roman civilization and Roman society. That was what began it a long time ago, which didn't have a lot to do with, so Roman society did that more than your society, I think. Because, Christians didn't really build a lot of stuff, did they? Anyway, so this whole notion, killing them was wrong because there was no proof. Killing them was wrong because there was no proof those were drug dealers. That's the whole deal. Yeah, they just said, hey, those are drug dealers. They had no proof they were drug dealers. They actually captured a couple of the guys afterwards, picked them up off the boats on one of them, and immediately took them to the country where they were going or whatever and dropped them off, and we haven't heard nothing else about them. Just why? Why didn't we have these international courts drag these guys through the courts for running those drugs? Why didn't they go on trial for running the drugs? Why didn't they use the evidence from the drugs to put the guy? Chris, good morning. The Romans stole from the Greeks, and the Greeks were following fallen teachings. It's really weird when our as a society, as a civilization, we've gone through a lot of changes, and this Chris says following the fallen teachings. So I guess you're talking about the pantheon and the gods, the multiple gods instead of one true God kind of situation. Something like. Is that where you're going? I'm guessing. The Vatican is still the Roman Empire too. Yeah, I guess in a way. Yeah. Have you seen that? It was really good. It was a really good episode of The Sopranos, and these two Italian mobster guys were interrogating this Jewish person, and he said something about Jews are still here. Where are the Romans? And the Italian guy leans in and says, "You're looking at them." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right." 'Cause they are. Anyway, let's see. I've been having headaches often for a while now. I'm just gonna. No, I don't want to turn the lights off. So I'm squinting and having a hard time reading and all that. So bear with me, guys. It's just a little bit of I do get the headaches. Jake for all apes says the odds of the universe being an accident is so absurdly small. It's 1 grain of sand out of 140 Earths worth of sand. Interesting. That's fascinating. Cool. That doesn't mean anything, does it? I mean, we don't actually know how many different universes are out there. Have no idea, do we? There could be so many more than the number. Just add like an exponent to the number of that you just put up there. And that's how many universes we've actually gone through, and we're the only one that so far has made life. I mean, you think about it the wrong way. You're trying to attribute something. And then if you wanted to even go and say, yeah, the odds. I think at one time I heard that the odds are more likely that you're a Bozeman brain floating in space and just think you're living this life than the Earth actually did the thing and evolved and people and blah, blah, blah. The odds, though. Okay. Yeah. That's one of the things, the odds is hard to get past. Not for that. I don't give a shit about that. Like whenever they ask, do you believe aliens? Because we're talking about aliens and stuff today, sort of on the show. Aliens, do you believe extraterrestrials exist? Yes. Yes, I do. Do I believe they're coming here? No, I need proof. I need real proof, you know? I want to believe. I want to believe in aliens like Christians want to believe in Jesus. I want to believe. I just can't convince myself without the proof. And it's almost like saying, to put the equation to that, is to the equal to that would be like saying, and I've been praying to these aliens for years and years and years, and yet they never do anything for me, you know? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. 50-50 usually. Let's see, tech. God is so powerful that even his non-existence affects atheism on a profound emotional level. Well, tech, no. Man, boy, I got to figure out fucking day. No. The reason why we do what we do is because of Christians and your oppression. Because you put your bullshit off on other people. If you would mind your own business, then I wouldn't have to do this. I wouldn't even want to. I got other shit to do. I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to do this. But Christians are fucking everywhere. We've got, I run the new Millstone article. How many was it last week? 19? Actually, it was 19 from Thursday to Sunday. 19 new cases across the nation of clergy either molesting children or churches moving those and protecting those people. That's just in the last few days. I mean, this is the same group, the same organization that don't want women to have abortions, that don't want women to be able to access contraception, that don't want women, young children, I say young children, children of an appropriate age, to know about, have sexual education. I heard that there's people in Florida going, oh no, is it Florida? Maybe somewhere else, but it's anywhere. It's Republicans, conservatives, clutching their, oh no, they want to pervert our children by teaching them sex. It's horrible. No, that's not what they want to do. There was a time whenever a child, you got to teach them certain things so they can tell you if something's wrong. This is you don't let nobody touch you here. You don't do, there's certain, and that's all it is. It's that kind of thing. But the conservatives make it out to be like something like it's not. Like they're teaching them how to be gay or whatever. They're not, but that's not what it's all about. What it's about is protecting the children. You know, protecting, letting them know if something happens, it's really okay that they tell somebody. And all kinds of things. It's that sort of thing. But I think I could see why Christians would be against that, though. Can't you? As often as they hurt children, as often as they claim to, oh, we're for the children, and yet you turn around and they're harming the children. Like I've said about the Catholic Church, they have demonstrated, and it's not just the Catholic Church, by the way, it's not, that they will sacrifice the children. You don't think, it's a different kind of sacrifice, metaphorical, if you will. Yeah, they sacrifice the children to protect the priests, don't they? by the thousands, by the thousands, by the thousands. And again, it's not just the Jehovah or just the Catholic Church. The Jehovah's Witness they had an entire legal department that was there, and they had these numbers. You call, are you being touched by your pastor? Call this number and get some legal help. That legal help was actually to protect the church, and you were telling on yourself and exposing yourself to people who are going to oppress you and keep your story down and try to keep you from exposing. That's what kind of people these are. Southern Baptist, same. Not legally the same, that same situation, but same as far as the children thing. That's just children. That's not even talking about the financial things that the church does, the Peak Church does. And then, of course, that's just talking about what you guys do to usually almost always yourselves as pastors touching Christian children. Right? Isn't it not? It is, isn't it? It is. Weird, huh? But that's not it. There's also, all across our country, there's Christian groups out there trying to get on school boards and in local governments and all this business so they can start imposing their Christian bullshit on us. And you can tell some of that from where the book bans were coming from a few years back. And this kind of the book bans have really slowed up. They've got other shit to go on now, right? But yeah. Yeah, so I'm coming up with a new, I'm going to try to release it this weekend. Slacker Chris, do the thing. A new newsletter that's going to come out every week, and it's going to be called Theocracy Watch. And it's going to give you examples. It's going to track these examples of Christian organizations across the country as they try to infiltrate our government. Or there are atheist groups. The Freedom from Religion Foundation is one of them, and another group, I can't remember their name, that this other group specifically deals with places where Christians are trying to push, Christian bullshit through local and state laws, So thank them for that. But it's going to be reporting on that. Because like the Ten Commandments in schools, that one there, just like that exactly. Oh, no, wait, oh, yeah, that's what, yeah. Christians don't do that. No. Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. They do the Ten Commandments in schools, don't they? The whole book ban thing was in schools. I don't care what your kids read, but now you're telling me what my kids can read. Now, if you don't want your kids reading those things at the school, tell them not to read those things at the school. Make a list, but to tell other people what their kids can't do, that's a little different, At the end of the day, good morning, Captain Ripper. At the end of the day, someone's going to push something. If you think it's wrong for Christians to push their worldview, you should be equally upset about atheism and evaluation being pushed. Evolution, I think you mean. Evolution. Well, no, it's not. See, my worldview, where it takes us, is Star Trek. That's where I would go. Yeah. Everybody, that kind of utopian, love everybody, take care of everybody, that sort of kind of Star Trek kind of utopian world. That's where it would go with me. Yeah. What happened whenever Christians had control? Christians have had control a couple of times, haven't they? One of them was called the Dark Ages. That's metaphorical, of course. It wasn't really dark. It was just whenever Christianity suppressed science. And like almost anything, art, science, all kinds of shit for like 600 years, was it? How long was it? There are things like we know about scientists who've talked about the Earth going around the sun and them being exposed and having the church go after them. Those are really popular ones that we've heard. We don't hear a lot about the ones that just kept their mouth shut, do we? They didn't believe, but they just did their science and went on and just kind of said they were Christian, but they weren't really Christian. Because if they had said they weren't Christian, they would have been killed. Yeah, that's a thing. Even today, it's weird. I see something today. Is our country a free nation? Is anybody allowed to run for office? Is that a deal? Can anybody run for office? As long as they're born in the United States, of course. That's one of, I think, the requirements. Run for president? Anybody? Run for local office, government office, mayor, right? This is America. We're not a Christian nation. We're a nation of many. So why is it whenever a Muslim in New York gets office, the Christians are all over the country that, oh no, Islam's here, it's here, we're enslaved, we're being oppressed. Are we not allowed to, are people who are not Christians allowed to run for office, or no? Well, let me know real quick, because last time I looked, when I wrote my book back in 2013, there were 8 states in the United States where you couldn't hold office as an open atheist. But no, we're America, right? Don't vote for monotheists. No shit. Well, one of the things is, there are good people and bad people. There are good Christians and bad Christians. There are good Muslims and bad Muslims. It's just how it is. But I just didn't think we were like that. I mean, I know we talk like that. Americans tend to talk like that. But to be really like, hey man, we're not going to let you hold public office. I know you've lived here your whole life. I know you were born here. I know you've done everything that an American should do. I know you've served in office. I know you've been in the military. I know you were wounded. But you can't run for office because you don't believe in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Is that where we are now as a country? Is that really where we are? I mean, the Christians did indeed go ahead and kick all the trans people out of the military. Didn't they? Harmless. Let's see here. Short stories. You guys got a lot going on. Jesus was not kosher, and he had an erroneous eschatology. He was not kosher. I guess it just depends, doesn't it? I mean, as to what part of kosher you're talking about, and when in their society you're talking about it, doesn't it? Because what was kosher and what is kosher changes over time, or has changed over time. So was he at the time? I don't know if he was. I mean, I don't think so. I think he was not kosher. I think, well, to a degree, some things he was, some things he wasn't. That's a tough one. When I was a child in the Pittsburgh school, says Kay's guy, our teacher would lead in class the Lord's Prayer every morning, checking to see if everyone was saying it. The class was all Jewish. Oh man, yeah. I mean, I was to the age where it never happened to me because I was a Christian, but I had heard that there were atheist or non-Christian kids who would go stand out in the hall during the Pledge of Allegiance. They were asked to stand out, or they would go stand out in the hall or something. It's just, but I never experienced. I wasn't a Christian during that time. Yeah, Christian oppression comes in many forms, and they don't see it. They really don't see it. One of the things, though, is that whenever you stop them from oppressing someone else, then they feel oppressed. Isn't it weird? I mean, here's the Christian, they're taking the moral, I'm the good guy. Gays, there's bad gays over there, people. And they're like, hey, stop persecuting and oppressing those gay people. And they're like, oh, you're oppressing me, you're hurting me because you're not allowing me to force my religious beliefs on these other people who don't believe the same way. Right? I mean, we see it all the time. That's their it's like one of their signature moves. Yeah, they love oppressing people. Part of the deal, I mean, we've seen it in this chat where I talk about all the Christians, or the Christians who kicked all the trans people out of the military, ruining these people's careers, right? And one of the things is a lot of these people didn't have to tell the military. Maybe they did, I don't really know, I suspect it, because there was this coming out, there was this coming out over the past 20 years of, acceptance. And then all of a sudden, bam, so they exposed themselves, and then here come all the Christians kicking them out of their lifetime careers. Isn't it weird, though, these same Christians who are like, hey, those trans people are too strong to compete with normal people, also don't want them fighting because they're too weak? They don't want them in the military because why? Weird. Let's see. No gods, no age of magic. That's the cover story. Pathetic drama queen behavior. How old are you? Who? All right, man, some shit's going on in the chat. I don't know what's going on. The Western world is Babylon. Chris has been saying lots of things. And some things, I just don't know anymore. I used to scoff at the notion that there was a real, true, worldwide, global pedophile ring that had powerful people all over the world, from kings and princes. I always thought that was a lie. I always did. I mean, I thought it was just, and then all of a sudden, wow, it's true. It's true. It was true. I mean, who they claimed were the ones was the lie. My understanding is Jeffrey Epstein and another guy, I don't remember his name, partnered to literally create 4chan and spread that there was indeed what it was, but to say that it was run by the liberals. That's part of the reason why you got the guy shooting up, or not, I don't know if he shot up, but going into the Pizza Hut after Hillary Clinton because he thought she was the pizza. Why does pizza have anything to do with it? Well, because I learned in the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, that's how they referred to their victims, was pizza. Something had to do with pizza. And that was kind of part of their nomenclature in that little world. So it got, and then Pizza Hut, pizza place. Who'd have thunk it? I mean, yeah, sure. 1, 2, I don't know. Just the sheer numbers was staggering. The sheer numbers. And then, we've had opinions on theists, Christians, and to see them continue to support Donald Trump, I mean, you can't not know at this point. You just can't. You can't not know. If he wasn't in there, why didn't he release them? I mean, my understanding is that he's the most I heard was over 1 million times. Trump's name was in there over 1 million times in the Epstein files. But then, I see a meme and it says 38,000 times, or another thing and it says so many times. Let me just see if I can find. I may not be able to find it. It may not have, Oh, we got to go to a break real quick. What do you guys want? You want ghost scented flesh candles? Would you like the pup? The pup is spoken. Heavenly halos? Whichever one I see first, I'll go ahead and run for you. It really should be called the Trumpstein files. Donnie, I always love the puppies. The puppies are in, we've got a couple of them. Why is it bad, Chris? Just saying, why do you go against these things if you cannot say they are objectively bad? Okay, hold on a second. I'm not sure what you're saying, objectively bad, what you're talking about, what's bad and what's not bad. But I can answer that, though. There is no objective morality. There's none. There's no objective morality. It's subjective. It is. All over the world. It's different. If there were really such a thing as objective morality, then many people would share that moral feeling, right? But they don't. They absolutely, you cannot get them. Christians have 40,000 different denominations of Christianity alone. You can't say they all hear the same moral voice coming from God. You just can't do it. From one church to the next church to the next church. And that's not even just talking about Christianity. It's talking about is murder wrong? Well, it just depends on who you ask nowadays and what's the circumstances. Are they breaking into your home? Well, that's not murder, that's self-defense. Wait, you're taking a human's life and you're just going to change the word. In Texas, you can kill them even if they can get away and you don't have to hurt them. They're not going to come at you and hurt you. They're just going to run away. As long as they're still on your property, you can still kill them. That's death. Morally subjective. Murder, morally subjective. Christians. Let's just use Christians as an example. You're a Christian, I presume. We have got thousands and thousands I think it was in Spain, they were talking 32,000 CSA victims from priests alone. I mean, there's thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of priests out there who have molested children. There's a worldwide child sex ring that we talked about that covers all these people. Apparently, there's quite a large group of people who seem to think CSA is morally okay. So how do you figure that there's objective morality? How can you get any kind of objective morality at all out of any of that? It's subjective. I act and do based on how I was raised. And you're like, oh, well, listen, just because I don't have a God creature, I mean, if I do something wrong, I get hurt. If I go and hurt my neighbor, I go to jail. This is my one life. You guys are like, I can do whatever I want to because I'm going to live on afterwards. I have a friend who is very obese, and his whole deal has been, I'm going to live a beautiful life after this. I don't care. As long as I believe in Jesus, this life doesn't matter. I don't have that. I don't have that. This is my one life. If I go do something bad, if I rape my neighbor, kill my neighbor, rob a store, I lose my life. The end. I go to jail forever. I lose my house. I lose my car. I lose my wife. I lose my family. I lose those things I care about. Do is the only thing that keeps you from doing bad things in our society. The only thing that keeps you from doing bad things, is it because you think there's a God creature behind you? Or do you live within the laws of man as best you can? Interesting. Let me see if I got a choice here. Somebody made a choice about what commercial to watch. Bum 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 bum. Why has it got to be Jesus? I don't know. Ask them. Matthew Mulkeen, no basement. The restaurant structure features no basement space whatsoever. You know, you guys are going on about that. Short stories. Chris, what about if people suppress the truth about God and morality in unrighteousness? As the Bible says. Wouldn't that make sense why people then claim subjective morality? What about if people suppress the truth about God and morality in unrighteousness? You're talking about all the people all over the world have to intentionally not have the same moral set just to prove that God is not. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. If morality were objective, why isn't it that the Aztecs 800 years ago were cutting off people's heads and rolling them down things? At their time, they thought that was morally acceptable. They had gods that they were sacrificing them to. That was it. I mean, and in nature, if you're even talking about nature, you can't really use nature as a moral guide. I wouldn't go there. I mean, we can just use examples of nature where lions will kill all the baby cubs of the previous lion whenever it takes over a pack. Not all, it doesn't always do it, but they do it. And it's just part of the way their tribe, the lionesses go, that's just how it is, because that's how it is. There are insects out there that will they'll catch is it a caterpillar? A wasp will make a little mud hole, catch a caterpillar, stick that caterpillar in that mud hole, and then inject its larvae in there, and its little baby will eat that caterpillar alive. Morals, universal morality, you just got to give that one up, man. There are no examples. You can't give me any examples of universal morality. Pharaoh's curse. Oh, I saw Pharaoh's curse over there. Somebody said Pharaoh's curse. Chris, let's see. And guys, I mean, I know y'all have responded. I haven't been keeping up with the chat very good, obviously. But I try. Mr. J says atheists are morally superior to theists. Indeed, we are. Yes, we are. Christians, especially. I say that because I don't know as much about other religions as I do about Christianity, but we are more moral than Christians. I want to say objectively speaking. What I mean by that is, on average, if you were to go to every person on the planet and say, are these actions moral? Atheists would be more moral than Christians. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Somebody asked for the Pharaoh's curse, and here it comes. Don't hit the wrong button. And I want to make sure that the two commercials, I've been having software problems.
Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco bueno, bueno, it stings like a bee. They told me she was a sister, now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
All right, I turned off my lights because of the headaches, guys, so bear with me, okay? BP10 Pantera says, so you would rather die of starvation instead of killing me? I think that maybe, see, that's the whole deal. That's a great example of subjective morality, how it is subjective. Yeah, you can go and find lots of examples where people have starved to death together, and they didn't eat each other when they could have. But then again, you can also find the Donner Party, table of 4, right? I'll have an eyeball. It happens. It's subjective. It varies from person to person. This is their own constitution, what they're willing to do, how far they're willing to go. You would think, I'm just saying, there would be a wall, a single limit. Like, here's the example I use. There's only one source of light for this planet. It's the sun. Objectively, you can go outside anywhere on this planet and see the sun. Anywhere. Same sun every time, isn't it? If you get out there with a telescope or whatever and you measure the sun, it's the same sun everywhere. It says the same thing all the time. The same light, the same everything. Because it's objective. The same. It's going to be the same over there as it is over here. I mean, obviously, barring some sort of thing like a solar flare or whatever. But you know what I mean. It's the same. Objectively. It's objectively our source of light for our planet. Unquestionably, it's our objectively singular, our one singular source. But you cannot say that with morality. You can't. Christianity has been murdering people in the name of Jesus Christ. Women, children. I mean, okay, all right, let's do this and let's go back to the thing I want to point out as far as being more moral than Christians. Atheists, or at least I'm going to say this. My understanding of modern, what do you call us? Secular humanism, okay? We should all be treated equally, right? Everybody should have the same chance. We shouldn't be persecuted. Everybody should have opportunities. That's kind of my deal. If you agree with that and you believe like should women be treated equally? Do you morally believe it's wrong to treat women poorly? Less than a man? Treat her less? Do you think it's wrong to do that? If you are a person who believes it's morally wrong to treat a woman and not give her the same opportunities as she does a man, then Christianity is not as moral as atheism or secular humanism because we believe women are equal. And Christianity doesn't and hasn't. It never has. Women most of the time aren't allowed to hold office in church, high enough office in church, depending on the more traditional, the closer to their origins. There are some very new Christian churches that are all run by women that allow that sort of thing. But for the most part, in general, almost all of them are against women. Just that alone. Okay? As a whole, secular humanists are more moral than Christians because we believe in equality for women and everybody, really. Christians will go around taking rules away from gay people, rights away from gay people, trans people, hurting other people, all people that were like, I mean, if you're a person and you're into secular humanism, then they ain't hurting me and they ain't hurting nobody else. They're just living their life. But no, Christians got to go hurt them, oppress them. And then we've got the thing like how you guys talk about these things. B.E. Pantera, why is it bad to kill someone? Ask the question. Well, why is it bad to kill someone? Is it only bad because you're a God creature thing? So if that were the case, then there's only one reason why it's bad to kill someone, according to you. Depends on person, I think, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's bad to kill someone. Uh-oh, I said it. How do I base that? How do you say that if you ain't got a God to judge me? Well, I tell you what, first of all, because my society trained me, raised me up to believe, and my dad and mom, that it's not okay to kill people. It's wrong. They may even try to kill you back. Watch out for that. But Christianity's been a murder, death, kill for years and years and years and years and years. You worship a God that commands the murder by the sword of children. Little children. You do. And that's not even talking about the child sacrifices that your God commanded. Your God commands child sacrifices in the Bible. Some of you will be like, yeah, they killed off the Canaanites because the Canaanites were doing child sacrifices. Well, no. No, that's not why they did it. Because they were doing child sacrifices too. Moses was commanded to perform child sacrifices several times. They were only allowed to redeem their firstborn son once they reached where they were going. Before that, once they reached the land of Canaan, before that, there was no redemption clause for the firstborn son. Exodus 13, 1 and 2. So, let's see. What's going on here? Demons. There's demons. Demons calls for child sacrifice. Demons calls for child sacrifice. B.E.P. Pantera. Okay. Mi burrito está no bueno. It burns when I pee. Okay. Let's see. Child sacrifice. There has to be a moral goodness superior than subjective morality. Why? Prove it. Prove it. You have all these groups of theists, Christians, Muslims, all these. You've all talked to the same God, and yet all of you can't find grounds on anything. You murder each other for anything for as much as what. The Calvinists don't believe you should have images in the church, so they kill Catholics. The Catholics don't think anybody should be anything but Catholic, so they kill everybody else. But where's your objective morality? Where is it? How come if you do truly have objective morality, why is slavery as a whole not good today? It's unacceptable by our moral standards, and yet it was good by God's moral standards back in the Old Testament, in the New Testament. Why is that? If morality is objective and the same, how come back then God gave his own people into slavery? He told his people how to keep his slaves. Jesus said, slaves, obey your masters. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Exodus 13. Hold on. Exodus 13. Ooh, Exodus. Let's do it again. Exodus. And I'm going to do this real quick for you. And I'm just going to do this to show you that I'm right. And then you'll just kind of have to assume everything else I say is right too. Because I'm not going to look it all up. You can go look it up yourself. Here we go. Let's look at Exodus 13, my ignorant Christian friends. Exodus 13. Your God would never accept child sacrifice. No, that's why they killed and wiped out the Canaanites. Even the little Canaanite babies and kids and children, they were deserved being wiped out because they sacrificed. Okay, here we go. Exodus 13. The Lord, it opens right up. You can deny it all you want to. The Lord said to Moses, consecrate to me every firstborn male. The first offspring of every womb among the Israelites belongs to me, whether human or animal. Then Moses said to the people, commemorate this day. As God brought you out of the thing and murdered all their firstborn sons, you have to give your firstborn sons to God. That's the kind of God you worship. You did know God killed the firstborn sons of Egypt. You knew that, right? Because they did what? What did those firstborn sons of Egypt do? Nothing. No, it was the Pharaoh that did it, wasn't it? It was the Pharaoh. Oh, it was the Pharaoh. But wait, it wasn't the Pharaoh. God hardened the Pharaoh's heart and made him do it. God did it. The children of the Egyptians, the firstborns, were murdered for something God did. By God, of course, because that's the God you worship. Now, here we go. Hold on. So now you're thinking, no, they allow them to redeem them with wheat or something. They actually don't. There's no redemption clause here at all as far as to redeem them. Then Moses said, blah, 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 blah. This is why they do that, okay? After the Lord brings you to the land of the Canaanites and gives it to you, after the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites and gives it to you as he promised on earth to you, oath to you and your ancestors, you are to give over to the Lord the first offspring of every womb. Genesis chapter 13, verse 11. That's your God commanding the first child from every womb. Now, in the first time I showed you, that was it. This time he does say, because now they've reached it. It says even so, after the Lord brings you into the land. Okay, so it says you are to give every first offspring of every womb. All the firstborn males of your livestock belong to the Lord. Redeem them with a lamb, would redeem with a lamb every firstborn donkey. But if you do not redeem it, break its neck. Redeem every firstborn among your sons. So in this case, they're saying you can substitute. I believe that's what they're saying. You can substitute something. But that's not what they meant before, and they didn't say it. And they specifically said, before, give us your firstborn. After, it says, you can, after the Lord brings you in the land, then you can substitute something. So here's your God creature commanding the sacrifice of children. Right there. Commanding the sacrifice of children. Now I'm going to show you the scripture where your Lord commands the murder of children with a sword and pregnant women. Book of Numbers. Oh, is that the wrong one? Let me find out what book it is. I was writing Numbers. I was just the wrong book. Numbers 31. Let's see if that's it. Okay. Numbers 31. What the hell already? Don't do that. Let's just do this. Numbers 31. I mean, I'm just taking it out of context, right? Somehow. Numbers 31. This is a purity test. What the hell? Oh, wrong. Number 5 again. Okay, so here we go. Numbers 31. This is your Moses. God, here I'm going to tell you at the beginning. The chapter opens up. 31. Numbers 31. The Lord said to Moses, take vengeance on the Midianites for the Israelites. Okay? This is not the Canaanites. Different group. I hope you don't mind if we do a different group this time. The other one's kind of worse, so let me have this one. So, take vengeance on the Midianites. Now, do you know what the Midianites did for them to take vengeance on? Hold on a second, I'll tell you. Hold on, because you know your God is just and worthy. So now let me just pop down here real quick to the meat, and then we'll come back to the top. Okay, so Moses And he gathered up an army of 12,000 men, sent them out against Midian. They slaughtered all the Midian men, all of them. They didn't suffer a single loss. Ooh, that's a fair fight. I think it's like 300,000. Anyway, so they kill all the Midianite men. And then they bring the women and the children back with them. But they weren't supposed to. That's not what they were commanded by the Lord. Right? So, oh, and by the way, wait, hold on. I don't want to spoil it for you. So let's just do this. So, here's God. I'll go back to the context a little bit before this. But verse 18 or 17. Verse 17, Moses commanding the people to murder captive slaves, or captives, not war people, nothing of this, captives, they're captive, to murder them, women and children. Moses. Oh, Moses who parted the waters. Moses, on God's order. The only reason why they lived is because they went against God's order. Now Moses has to, well, listen to this. Moses, have you allowed all the women to live? Now kill all the boys. Kill all the males among the little ones. I think is how it says in the ancient Hebrew. All the males among the little ones. And kill every woman who has slept with a man. But save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man. That's Moses commanding people to murder children, little boys, and women who are pregnant women. If she's known a man, correct? That's Moses. Now, again, the only reason why Moses has to make this order is because they've already given the order and the generals just didn't follow it. This is your God murdering people, entire genocide, commanding taking them and then murder the men, the women, and keep the little girls for yourselves as sex slaves right here. Moses, God. Now, what did they do? What did the Midianites do that was so horrible that they demanded that all of them been murdered out and completely wiped out? According to this story, it's the Peor incident. When you go read the Peor incident, some of the Midianite women lured some of the Israelite men away from them, and they left their faith. And then they got a disease, because the Lord loves hurting his own people. And because the Israelites got a disease because of the infidelity of the Israelite men, because they got a disease and lost 40,000 or some people, God smited his own people for that. And then, because of that, they go and murder everyone. All of them. Their entire, I want to say civilization, allegedly. All of them. Man, woman, and child. For luring people away from your religion. Murder. Man, woman, and child. You proud? Christians? Is that how the God you love? That's a loving, merciless God. Merciful God, isn't it? And then we talk about, like, when Jesus comes back. Oh yeah, hold on a second. Ice Peak Consulting says, divine logic. God spent 40 years teaching people how to poop in holes, but couldn't find 5 minutes to ban owning humans. That's a good one. And one of the things, if you know, you know. Chris L. says Saudi Arabia still has slaves. I believe he's defending how his God creature approves of slaves. So since Saudi Arabia still does it, then that must mean it's okay. Right? Yeah, the whole, and then we're talking about the vile, disgusting nature of their God as part of this, what we're going on. I'm going on about it. Well, thank you for mentioning the 40 years to poop in holes. 40 years they wandered in the desert. Why did they wander in the desert? Because as soon as he, with all his might and power, freed them from Egypt, they started worshiping other gods. Really? You literally just freed them from Egypt with all your might and power so you could show your wonders, your signs and wonders. That's why I'm going to harden the Pharaohs. You go and tell the Pharaoh to let my people go, and your brother's going to tell him to, and he's going to be willing, but I'm going to harden his heart so I can show Egypt my signs and wonders. And what are his signs and wonders? The 10 fucking plagues, including the murder of children. Right? What's the 10th plague? 10th plague? Anybody? 10th plague. You can do it. What's the 10th plague? The murder of all the firstborn children of Egypt. Or firstborn. First to breach the womb. Doesn't matter how old they are. It's the first to breach the womb. As it says right here, in fact. Where in Exodus, twice, right there, it's already told you to sacrifice your children. The second time, after a later time, once you get somewhere, then you can start redeeming them. Moses murdering babies. Their own babies. Their own babies. Now, let me just do this. Let's see. How many? Okay, so then we've got those. That's the first time is Genesis 1. Or Genesis 1, I mean, Exodus 13, verse 1 and 2, right there. Moses being told by God to sacrifice your firstborn. Right there. What, you think your God doesn't like the murder of children? You think so? You're down for that, though. You're cool with that? You dig child sacrifice? Well, you do, don't you? Because Jesus is a child sacrifice. He is the first to breach the womb. He is the child of God. That is a child sacrifice. And you worship it because you're disgusting. Did I say that out loud? I mean, if you worship it, then you're disgusting. Let me rephrase that again. If you know that's what it is, and you still worship it, then you're disgusting. Most Christians don't even realize that they're worshiping a child sacrifice. A literal child sacrifice. He was a self-sacrifice, I guess. If God is Jesus, then yeah, I guess it was a self-sacrifice. But then it wasn't a sacrifice, right? Because the God creature who created the entire universe, all these creations, that he's afraid of death somehow? That's just stupid, isn't it? He's afraid of anything. It's afraid of anything. And it's here. I mean, those are just all kinds of ridiculous. And remember, my friend, go look. Jesus was not willing. He was not willing. I don't know where your comment went because it moves so fast. He was not willing. How did Moses got to the palace of Pharaoh when he was an infant? I have no idea. No idea. Does how Moses got to the palace as a Pharaoh when he was an infant change the fact that Moses commanded the murder and rape of children? Does it change that somehow? Does that make it okay? Just clue me in on that, where your morals stand. Because, you have objective morality, don't you? Surely the raping of children is objectively wrong, isn't it? Unless, of course, your God creature commands it. And then it's objectively correct, is it not? So whenever they tell Moses right here to take the young girls who have not known a man for yourselves, and then they give the virgins out like part of the prize. Literally. I mean, the priesthood gets virgins. Everybody gets virgins. Moral? Your God is moral? This is Moses. You're one of your holy people. Moral? Your God is moral. Objectively moral. Really? I really think what the deal is your God is objectively disgusting. Absolutely horrific. Horrific. But it goes, I'm doing horrific thing. I am loving honesty and light and glory. Horrific thing. Love me because I'm kindness and forgiveness. Horrific thing. Right? It says there's like this nice candy coating about it that says it's nice and loving and forgiving, but it's absolutely not. It's a murderous fucking psychopath. Kills people, toys with people, like pulls the flies off of wings. Look at the story of Job. Look at what it did to Job. Your own, look at Job. He just sacrificed so much. He was so willing to say that he loved God no matter how bad things were. Wait. So listen, this is how it is. Your neighbor is beating his wife, but she loves him. She loves him so much. Now he's beating his wife and he's killed all their kids, but man, she still loves him. She really does love him. Look at the honor and love in that. Isn't that wonderful? Now he's destroying their house and going after and killing her family. Oh, but she loves him. Look at the faith in that woman, taking all that abuse. I used to have an aunt. She's actually my great aunt. And she had a poodle. I don't know if I can demonstrate for you this. She had a poodle, and she's kind of a little hefty, you know. She's sitting in these chairs, just a little. I'm not being ugly. I'm just being honest. She's sitting in these chairs and kind of had her legs kind of spread, you know, a little bit. And down between her feet, the dog would sit. And it loved her tremendously. It really did. Such a wonderful little dog. I don't even care for chihuahuas that much. It did. It loved her. If somebody came up on the porch and that dog reared its head and looked who was on the porch, she hit it with a yardstick. If it did anything wrong, I mean, she went around with this yardstick, and that's how she managed that dog. And it wasn't for bad. I mean, like, people discipline animals in different ways, but I mean, oh my goodness, your dog just bit your daughter. That's one thing. Your dog just looked over there. Your dog got up to beat them like that. That's horrible. But then you'd see her. She'd get up and she'd leave, and she'd leave the dog there, and she'd put it in her seat, and she'd go to her home, and then she'd come back. But while she was gone, that dog is sitting on the seat just watching, waiting for her, just waiting. Oh, he can't wait for her to get back. And then he'd see it come, because we live in a trailer house with a screen door, you know, and she was with a glass. He'd see it come up, and he'd just start wiggling his tail and wiggling his tail. He'd be so excited, he just couldn't contain himself, so she'd hit him with a stick, because he was too excited and wouldn't settle down because she'd come back. That's you, Christians. Enjoy your stick.
Do you have a loved one who's on their deathbed, but they've yet to give themselves up to the Lord?
Are you sure you don't want to come to Jesus?
No.
This is your final chance.
No.
Worried they're headed to the fiery pits of hell.
Your very last chance.
No. I've been wicked and sinful. I deserve to burn in the hot place.
As you wish. Farewell, my heathen husband.
Farewell, my... Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of post-mortem baptismal kits. No more worries about being miserable alone forever. Be a good Christian and share that eternal pain and suffering with the ones you love. I'm in hell. Not as hot as I thought it'd be. Kind of feels like Houston, minus the humidity. Hello. My favorite drink crafted to perfection. Ooh, and some dank ass weed.
I can't bear to be down on my face chanting, holy, holy, holy is the Lord, every day, all day, for all eternity, by myself.
Wow, is that George Carlin? And Alan Turing, look at that. Carl say, oh, I am so honored. You've been my hero since I was a kid. Neil deGrasse Tyson, what are you doing here? Oh, I get it. I get it. Schrodinger's heathen. Very cute, you. Very cute. That's fantastic. Oh, what is that? What is... It's holy water. Oh, it burns. No, this isn't where I want to be. Pabst Blue Ribbon and a Marlboro? No! Father Flanagan's post-mortem baptismal kit. Dead kid tested, Mother Teresa approved. Is that the Pope and John Paul? Jim Jones and Jimmy Swaggart, huh? I can see that coming. Neil deGrasse, what are you doing? Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord.
Thanks, Father Flanagan.
Damn them to an eternity in heaven for only $59.99. They wouldn't appreciate it, but you'll feel better, and that's the point, isn't it? Get yours now. Your heathen loved one's time is running out. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord. This is some bullshit. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord.
I want to come over here. I want to do this. And I want to point out here that we've got here, it is Exodus 7. Let's go to Exodus 7. My lights are off because I got a headache, guys. Sorry. Exodus 7. Okay. Now, I noticed Pantera said you should read Exodus from the beginning if you want to know why God issued the 10th plague. No. You don't have to read it that far back. You don't. All you have to do is go back to Exodus 7. God tells you why. See, earlier whenever I said the Egyptians didn't do anything, it was something the Pharaoh had done. Oh, wait, the God creature did it, not the Pharaoh. Let's read Exodus 7 together. Then the Lord said to Moses, okay, come on, Exodus 7, get over there. Hurry. Good. Then the Lord said to Moses, see, I have made you like a god to Pharaoh. Wow. And your brother Aaron will be like your prophet. You are to say everything I command to you, and your brother Aaron is to tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go out of his country. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart. And though I multiply my signs and wonders in Egypt, he will not listen to you. That's God taking credit for why Pharaoh did what he did. God made Pharaoh. So if would all those children, the firstborn, would all the firstborn have died in Egypt had Pharaoh let the children, no, they wouldn't have, right? So God intentionally hardened Pharaoh's heart so he could show his signs and wonders. What were his signs and wonders, my friends, my Christian friends, your loving God? What were his signs and wonders? Here it is right here. He said he did it so he could show his signs and wonders. This is what he said. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and though I multiply my signs and wonders in Egypt, he will not listen to you. God does all of that. God creature. Why do I call it God creature? This is an example. You guys worship this thing, and you don't even know it. Most of the time, you don't even know these things about your own God creature. How many times does God creature command the sacrifice of children? Hold on a second, because I know he does it at least 3 times in Exodus 13. And I already got the gotcha. I got the gotcha. You're out there making excuses for why he didn't really mean to sacrifice their firstborns and all that. But I already got you, because I got that scripture where he brags about telling them to do that. Remember? So hold on. So that's just, there was Exodus 13 where it does it twice. Exodus 13. First time, Exodus 13, 1 and 2. Sacrifice your firstborn sons to me. The firstborn of every animal and human belongs to me. Okay. And then we go here. Hold on. Exodus 22. Here it is again in Exodus 22. Let's go to Exodus 22, my friends. Exodus 22. Mi burrito está no bueno. Exodus 22. Exodus 22. Yep. This is a group of rules. He's giving them rules and laws to follow, telling them how to live their lives, the protection of property, social responsibility, stuff like that. And it goes here, whoever steals must certainly make restitution. If anyone grazes their livestock in a field or vineyard, down here at the bottom, so he's giving out rules as to what you're supposed to do. Down here at the bottom, one of the very last ones. All right, so it says, if you lend money to somebody, do not treat it like a business deal, charge no interest. Number 28, verse 28, do not blaspheme God or curse the ruler of your people. So, Christians out there, is that why you support Donald Trump? Because the Bible tells you so? Whether he's a pedo or not? Anyway, number 29. Number 29, my friends. Do not hold back offerings from your granaries or your vats. You must give me the firstborn of your sons. Do the same with your cattle and your sheep. Let them stay with their mothers for 7 days, but give them to me on the 8th day. Does he give a redemption? Does he say you can sacrifice, substitute a calf or anything? Well, let's see what it says next. You are to be my holy people. So do not eat the meat of an animal torn by wild beasts. Throw it to the dogs. And that's the end. That's God telling them to sacrifice their firstborn children. Exodus 22. You must give me the firstborn of your sons. That's the third time technically. The third time he's told them to do it. The second time he did give them a redemption clause. This time here, there's no redemption clause. So, just saying. Let's go over here though. It's not the actions of my imaginary enemy. It's the actions of my imaginary enemy's followers that is the problem. But wait. So here's twice. Three times in the Bible, I have shown you God commanding the sacrifice of children. The second time, indeed, he did give them a redemption clause. They could use something else instead of their sons. What if they didn't have that thing, though? I guess they just, All right, so, but twice, it did not give them a redemption clause. Moses commanded by God to murder children, the firstborn sons. So they were killing children in Canaanite. Were you wrong? Maybe you were wrong. I don't know. Maybe you were wrong. But now you're like, no, that's not what they meant. God didn't mean like really kill them. He meant like bond kill them or something. Right? He didn't really mean kill. He didn't really, but 3 times he told the children lost in the forest to kill their own firstborn sons, to sacrifice for him, because he killed the firstborn sons of Egypt. It's right there in your own holy book. Now, it gets even better. Oh, it gets so much better. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. Ooh. Is this one it? Okay. All right, so now earlier in this, what I was talking about, whenever I told you about Egypt, and I went and showed you, God says, I'm going to harden Pharaoh's heart so I can show my signs and wonders in Egypt. His signs and wonders were the 10 fucking plagues. They weren't mercy, love, kindness. He could have shined a big, beautiful light on everybody and softened their hearts, but no, it was the 10 fucking plagues. So he could show them that he was the Lord. Doesn't it even say that? Exodus, hold on, doesn't it even say that? It does, doesn't it? Hold on. Is that the one? I've been through so many. Nope. Restitutions for wrongs. Test for an unfaithful wife. That's from yesterday. All right, so 22. Yeah, so there's them. So let me just find this one real quick. Go back to because Ezekiel 20. All right, so earlier, no, I want to find that, man. I got to find it. It was Exodus 7. Okay, in Exodus 7, then I will lay my hands on Egypt, and with a mighty acts of judgment, I will bring out my divisions of my people, the Israelites. And the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord when I reach out my hand against Egypt and bring the Israelites out of it. They're going to know he's the Lord after he does some hideous and disgusting things. That's what it says right there. In your own Bible, go read it. This is your God creature out of his own mouth saying he's going to do hideous and disgusting things. Oh, look, right there. I am going to harden his heart. And because his heart is hardened, I am going to send an angel to murder all the firstborn sons of Egypt. It's their fault. Their mothers cried because they had done something wrong. The fathers lost, sad, crying because their son was taken by the God of Israel. For what? For something Pharaoh did? But no, Pharaoh didn't do it, did he? God did it. And why did he do it? So he could show his signs and wonders. His signs and wonders were fucking horrific. That's your God. Lovey? Mercy? Now, here's where it gets good. Let me go on to Ezekiel, because you're out there doubting that you're probably calling me a liar, telling me I'm taking it out of context, whatever, about Exodus 13 and Exodus 22, where it tells you to sacrifice your child. Tells them. Remember, it's the people lost in the wilderness, and he's doing it because they worship gods. They're gods of their parents, right? Hathor, the golden calf, the golden calf, right? That's why he's doing it, right? Let's go on to Ezekiel, where later on, God is actually telling Ezekiel how his own people pissed him off. He stuck them in the desert for 40 years, made them worship laws or follow laws and statutes that they could not follow, and he made them sacrifice. Here, look. Because, here it is. Also, with uplifted hand, I swore to them in the wilderness that I would disperse among the nations and scatter them through the countries, because they had not obeyed my laws, but had rejected my decrees and desecrated my Sabbath, and their eyes lusted after their parents' idols. Exodus 22:25. So I gave them other statutes that were not good and laws through which they could not live. I defiled them through their gifts, the sacrifice of every firstborn, that I might fill them with horror, so that they know I am the Lord.
Flanagan!
Yes, sir. Very disturbing, I know.
Fetch me Father Flanagan.
Your Highness.
You are in the presence of His Holiness, the Pupius Maximus, guardian of the sacred fire hydrant, defender of the holy tennis ball, and eater of the golden kibble, Pup Oliver Poopsalot the Fifth.
Your Popedom. I heard you have a bone to pick with me.
Condoms, Father Flanagan?
No, thank you. I've got plenty.
That's what I mean. Why are you selling condoms?
Oh, you mean our Pharaoh Sombrero line of condoms? Understood.
You know how we feel about those around here.
Well, they're not to be used by the Catholics, of course.
Not for Catholics?
No, they're part of our Sinner Gonna Sin lack of faith outreach program.
The sinner gonna what?
It's like getting the tithe, but from the heretics and the heathens and the atheists.
Oh, well, when you put it like that.
But, Your Highness, this will reflect very poorly on the church.
True. You know what this means, Flanagan?
Warning label, a warning label on the box, not for Catholics in big letters.
Too subtle.
Instant purgatory if used by Catholics.
I like it. Divine branding.
Excellent, your Popedom. Would there be anything else?
That will be all. You may leave.
All right, let's see here. I want to just kind of check here and see something. Hello, Savannah Hill. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Nice to meet you. I don't recognize you from the chat. I hope everything's going great. I hope you were able to sin safely this week. Their God creature is so paper thin. He's so emotional. He created the entire universe and everything. He's so powerful and strong. But the chattering words of us monkeys hurt his feelings, his tiny, tiny little dick feelings. So they created a word called blasphemy. So don't say bad things about. I hope you were blaspheming all week, safe, but sin safely, my friend. And that's one of the things we talk about on here. They're like, oh, God just doesn't want you to sin. Well, what is sin? Sin is nothing more than the opinion of your God. That's all it is. Whether something is good or bad is determined by whether or not your God creature likes that thing. I just gave you examples in the Old Testament where God creature was commanding the ancient Israelites who fled Egypt to murder their own children, their firstborn sons. It says so right here. 3 times in Exodus. God's soldier says, keep living like this one day. When you pass away, you will wake up in hell surrounded by demons. Enjoy. Really? Isn't that crazy that you guys, your God creature, he loves us. He so loves us. He does. But that he would create a place, a pit of fire where he's going to torment us forever, or tormentate, whatever you call it, forever and always, for our tiny little offenses. What kind of offenses? Not for hurting anybody. No. You don't have to hurt anybody, kill anybody, none of that. All you have to do is not believe in Jesus Christ to get to God. And you're going to burn forever. That's your sin. Who's moral? What kind of judgment call is that? Who is just in their judgment? That's not just. That's rash, anger, hate. That's what the God creature is. I've proven, I think, throughout this entire thing. Go back and rewatch this whole thing. God creature is nothing but hate. It is nothing but hate. It lies to Adam and Eve right from the very beginning. And then it just gets worse from there. Murders its own children, drowns them. Then its own children are starting to do pretty good with the Tower of Babel. If they can do this by working together, then there is nothing they cannot do. And we can't have that shit. So let us go down there and destroy their tower and confuse their languages. This is the same God who, I got to do something. Hold on a second. Who built the pyramids? The Egyptians did. Yeah. You don't think God did? You don't think the ancient Israelites did? All we're talking this is a story. It's all fiction. That's the worst part about the whole thing. This is not about a real person. These people wrote up this horrific God creature and this horrific man named Moses out of the thin air, made up one of the worst possible characters you could possibly make, and decided that that's what they're going to worship. There's no real Moses. The Egyptians, the Israelites were never slaves in Egypt. Never. Even Egyptian Israeli archaeologists will tell you that. There's no evidence that they were ever there. There was I think a claim 2 million or so people, so a huge amount. Matter of fact, remember we were talking about the virgins? They killed 300,000 Midianites and then divided the virgins among themselves. 32,000 virgins. That's a lot of people. A lot of people leaving Egypt after 400 years in slavery. So those people spoke Hebrew? Did they speak Hebrew or did they speak Egyptian? Were they in Egypt? I think they were in Egypt before, allegedly, according to the story. Were they there? So they all wore ancient Hebrew clothes. They all wore ancient Hebrew stuff. They all had ancient Hebrew houses and all that. So whenever they, en masse, left Egypt with nothing, just fled, and they got to the Promised Land or got into Judea, they actually already had all the things they need. You don't, because see where I'm going as is, you can look back in the archaeological record and see that there's no huge influx of people like that. No, it never happened. That's just one example of why it never happened. Moses never happened. And yet they still choose to worship this God creature and his follower Moses. All of the heroes of the Bible are horrific. Moses, Abraham, David. I'm sure there might be one or two that's good. I don't know. It really depends on your perspective, though, doesn't it? If you hate children, then they're not monsters, are they? Are they? Let's see. Abraham raped his wife's slave, had a baby by that slave, treated them both really poorly till they ran away. An angel told her to go back. Then he had his own child from his real wife. And once he had his own child from his real wife, he didn't really need that slave and her baby anymore. So he cast her out into the desert to die. Love children, Jesus, God, mercy, love. This was Abraham. They call the Abrahamic religions because of him. Interesting. Then, of course, there's Lot, who threw out his virgin daughters to the crowd, right? Then there's David. Remember David. Oh, David, he's so wonderful. King. It's the star of who? It's the star of who? Oh, yeah, it's the star of this guy who sent another man into battle so he could have sex with his wife, and God punished him by making that child die. And then all of Daniel's wives were raped publicly by his son. That's David's punishment. David's punishment. His child died. That's another. So far we've mentioned two or three heroes of the Bible. Oh, wait. Job, you say? Oh, God creature murdered all 10 of Job's children. Can we find a hero in the Bible that doesn't somehow kill children as a holy fashion? Huh. Who built? Oh, I'm sorry. I still got the thing up there. All right. So the Egyptians built the pyramids. Yeah. I think we got plenty of scientific evidence as to how they happened, or ideas of how they happened. I mean, yeah, it's not aliens for sure, I don't think. And here's the deal, man. I got to say, really, if you know, you know, I'm a little disappointed, to be fair. I mean, depends on who you ask. Humans like us have been around for 300,000 years. 300,000 years. Wow. And we just developed farming 50,000 years ago? Anyway, we're slow. And then it was just 8,000 years ago we started building these big monolithic wooden or stone things. Really interesting. But, you know, I mean, that's one of those things as a kid I wanted to believe. I wanted to believe that it would be proof, right, that we weren't alone, that aliens were real. But no, they got too much evidence that Egyptians built it. Yeah, so there's that. Oh, you know, well, let's see. I was going on about other people. Let's see, Abraham, Lot. Who other? Can we think of anybody? Saul. Who else? In the Bible kills children? Can you name somebody? God's soldier says, "Keep living like this. One day, when you pass away, you will wake up in hell, surrounded by demons and joy." Well, again, that's kind of really. It's sad that you believe in a God that would create a place like that for me. And how am I living? Am I living? I might be a pretty good guy. You don't know. All you know is I'm saying bad words about your God creature. And because its paper-thin feelings are so easy to offend, I'm going to go to hell. I'm going to burn for all eternity because your God creature can't take some bad words. Little chattering monkey hurts its feelings. Really, blasphemy is because your religion is fucking ridiculous. It's stupid. I said it. It's stupid. And they don't want people telling you it's stupid. They don't want you pointing out the ridiculous bullshit that you believe. They don't want us showing you how fucking moronic you have to be. So whenever we start saying things to point out, hey, this is bullshit, that is what? Blasphemy. Now, wait a second. Why do they need to protect that God's feelings? Why is saying bad things about God is God? No, it's because it's not about God. It's because saying blasphemous things will weaken the faith that those people have and keep them in line and keep them falling for the con. Keep them falling and stuck in the cult. Somebody came in earlier and said something about don't be a fool or a wise man. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Well, yeah, right? That's what they tell you. Be afraid. Oh, yeah, you're smart for being afraid. Don't let those people over there tell you that what this is crazy. No, you're the smart one. You are. You're the smart one. You are. Don't listen to them. They're fools. Don't listen to them. Cult God believers. Los Goat. Hi, Los Goat. Did we already do goat scented flesh candles today? I don't think we did. I'm going to do goat scented flesh candles just for you since you're here. Now, just a quick rundown. He's obsessed with God. No, I'm obsessed with the actions of the followers. He keep putting your shit off on other people. You go get your Christians to give all those trans people back their careers in the military. Go do that. All those Christians out there who got in the top into the U.S. government, took over the government, and kicked all the trans people out of the military because you're religious bullshit. You should go personally apologize to each one of those people. They are people, by the way. Let's see here. I was going to do something real quick. Lost Goats, I love your channel too. I love you. I love anybody who loves my stuff. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm weak. I gotta say I'm weak. I'm speaking plainly. It's a tough haul to do this 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. You know, gets old. I sit there and go, man, why do I want to do this? I don't know if I can do this. I don't want to do this. Nobody listens to me. And then I get here in the morning and I got these wonderful people showing up and they're all excited. This show's the best part of my day. I can't believe they say that, but they do. It really happens. Oh, look at this. Los Go. Hey, thank you for the $5 super chat. God is bullshit. Indeed, indeed. If you ever get the chance, check out the other videos on my, matter of fact, I should put out some more of those. I've got the top 10 reasons why Christianity is a cult, the top 10 reasons why Christianity is a blood cult, the top 10 reasons, I got lots of those. They're good ones. I should make more of those. One of the things, I've got destroyingchristianity.com, and I've been building it. I'm just a slacker, really, to be honest. Oh, and Flockmaster has been a bronze level member for 15 months. Says, thanks for creating this community if you meant to. Well, I kind of did. I did. Those who stick around with me anyway after, because I'm a lot. I can be a lot. But go check out my channel. I got some videos, and I'm going to be making some more. I bought a new computer. I appreciate all the super chats. I bought a new computer specifically for the editing. Now, you saw some of my commercials. I do all the editing, all the green screen, all of that. And it takes quite a beast of a machine, and my old one just wasn't cutting it. So I do it. I do the thing, and I appreciate all the help with the super chats. Let's see. I'm weird about the money thing. I hate the money thing. Every now and then I'll try something, like they'll say, do this thing, and it'll encourage people to, and I try it, and it always makes me feel like shit to do it. Was it yesterday or Wednesday? I put a deal in there where when you give a super chat, put hashtag and a puppy name, and at the end of the week, I'll tally it up, and whichever puppy wins will be the puppy of the week. And I kind of got that from The Line. They do that over there, something like that. And just in putting it in the thing, the little contest made me feel stupid and weird. And then I put it there, and I left it there, and I didn't get any super chats. It's like saying, hey, don't super chat, because it's just weird. I think it's weird. Anyway, I'm going to play for you goat-scented flesh candles. Now, here's the reason I'll explain what the goat-scented flesh candles is about for all you new people. If you're a Christian, then you believe everybody else is wrong. All the other Christians are doing it wrong, and they're all going to hell. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? I mean, just today, every day they come in and they say, that Christian isn't the right kind of Christian. They aren't real Christians. It happens all the time. Well, if you take it at face value, that means none of them are doing it right. Just ask any of the other ones. And they're going to say they're not doing it right. They're all going to burn in hell. So they're all going to burn in hell, all of them. And you know why? It's because God loves the smell of burning flesh. He does. He says so over and over again. And then also in the Bible, like the first time Abraham meets God, it's in Genesis chapter 15. He makes promises that he does not keep to Abraham. And then he tells Abraham to cut up animals and put them in a circle, their body parts in a circle. Weird, huh? And then he comes and floats between them as a fire pot, a pot full of fire. He loves the smell of burning flesh. So all Christians are going to burn in a pit of fire. They're all going to burn into hell. No matter what, they're all going to burn because he loves. So they are indeed human-scented flesh candles for the evil God monster of Abraham. Now, we really can't go there. However, if you need a goat to sacrifice and you don't have a goat, well, my friend, has Father Flanagan got a product for you.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh no, the Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do you do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning built flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
All right, we've got somebody in the chat here, a new person, obviously. Says something about God doesn't create sin. God doesn't create sin. Okay, let me help you out with that. And again, I apologize for the darkness in here because I got headache thing. So Isaiah 45, verse 7. I form the light. I create the darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Now, so what is sin? When you stop and think about it, I'm going to leave you with this. What is sin? A sin is something God doesn't like. So a sin is really just something that's against God's opinion. If God doesn't like something, if it's an action God doesn't like, it's a sin. If it's an action God does like, it's righteous. Correct or not? So God creates sin. Sin is just a matter of God's opinion. Right? I'm going to read our chats real quick, super chats. I do appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for, the world is getting crazy as the money gets tight. Anything y'all share, I appreciate it. As things get harder on everybody, I appreciate you. $5 says a Miss Non-Secret. Oh, I didn't even hear that one. Here's some money specifically for the future self-flagellating whips commercial. I like that. Yes, thank you for that. Yes. I have a list. Thank you for creating this channel, a community, if you meant to, says Flockmeister, for 15 months, you poor creature. Thank you, Flocky. Miss Non Sequitur and Flockmeister both do, they're really wonderful in our Discord. Go join our Discord and then hang out with them on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. They do a thing at the place with the stuff for the people, and it is indeed fun. There's like blasphemy, and I think they dance around fires naked and sacrifice virgins or something. Oh, wait, sacrificing virgins and stuff is a Christian thing. Sorry, never mind. They don't do that. They're not disgusting like Christians. And then Los Goat says God is bullshit. LOL. Hashtag truth. All right, guys, I appreciate you very much. I will be here tomorrow. No, I will not. I will be here tomorrow, just not on the show. No, so I will see you guys Monday. Before I forget, my friends. Last Saturday, I went and auditioned for the play Arsenic and Old Lace at the largest theater in Albuquerque, and I got a role. I have been cast. It is indeed a small role. It's a foot in the door, though, right? It's a foot in the door. I got a small role. Unfortunately, at this point, I can't tell you which role because they got to tell all the people who got roles and make sure everybody, accepts their roles, because if somebody doesn't accept the role, my role could change. So I can't technically tell anybody but when I can, I will let you know which role I got. It's going to be fun. I enjoy it. It's pretty good. It's going to be fun. Guys, I'm off to save the world. Thank you very much for all your support and all your time, and for putting up with me, and for helping me deal with these evil Christian people. Oh, I mentioned somebody earlier said you're going to be spinning in hell with the demons. Friend, Christian, think about this. Go look at your God and how it acts. Does it act more like an evil god monster, a pit demon from hell, or does it act like a loving father? Go read. Does a loving father drown its own children? Interesting. Does a loving father create pits of fire where it's going to torment its own children for not liking it, not worshiping it correctly? Interesting. God creature, more like a demon. I'm off to save the world, my friends. Sin safely. Take care.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink,